How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal in this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on the Dixie for the daily, we did continue to sell off. For tomorrow, we do have CPI on the 11th, next week, we do have CPI on the 11th, so we are going to see some CPI data. That's pretty much attributing to the market pulling back. That's why Dixie and Bitcoin is being correlated, because there's a high chance we may not get a rate cut. So people may start pulling money from the stock market, because we've been hearing all year that there would be rate cuts, and there haven't been any. There aren't going to be any until that CPI gets better. So the Dixie is pulling back. We have a manipulation X that does want to drop us lower. I would watch for a continued drop toward that 300 EMA. Our VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory with lower highs and lower lows. That's the yellow wave. So as that pulls back, our blue wave, our momentum, will continue to weaken, and our red wave, our money flow, will continue to deepen in the red from being green. Stochastic is pulling back. We do have that orange above blue. RSI is weakening as a result, and that is bringing price action lower. We do have that EMA cross with the green and blue. So if that green continues to fall below higher EMAs, we could see the bears gain further control here. Over on the 4 hour, we did hit that 300 EMA several times, and we got several rejections. Remember, you want to break above and hold if you're going to start getting a bullish trend. So that's one of the things to keep an eye on for. Momentum is pretty flat. We do have a red dot signaling VWAP could pull back. So if that VWAP does pull back here, we will see continued bearish momentum, and that will bring money flow lower. So I would exercise caution. Stochastic's pretty beat down, and RSI is weakening as a result. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic double line is rolling away. Orange is above blue, so we have a bearish cross. RSI is dropping as a result. VWAP, our yellow wave, is breaking below that zero, pushing into the bearish territory, and our momentum is starting to round away with the red dot because of that VWAP breaking down. Money flow is deepening in the red, so if that VWAP and momentum continue to favor bearish here, we will see those higher time frames start to weaken as well. Over on the 1 hour, we do have more of a bearish channel here, so our highs and lows don't really connect too well that I see. We can draw a channel just to kind of map it out if I can get my mouse to click. So we could have some highs and lows that connect somewhat, but if you connect this high and low, that would push us out of this being a straight channel. That's what I'm looking at. So that is more of a bearish continuation. Bearish continuation, remember, does bring you to the downside until you get higher lows with higher highs. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is weakening. That VWAP is in the bearish territory. Momentum is dropping, causing that money flow to weaken as well. Over on the total for the daily, we did break away from our little flag that we had on the lower time frame. So if we jump to the 1 hour, we did have that consolidation range. We did have the potential to break around that 542, and we continued to break past it. So you would have wanted to watch for that bounce where we met support. But overall, this push forward that we are getting right now could be in response to that quick drop. So I would watch. If we roll away here, making a lower high, we will still have that bearish continuation that could bring us lower. Momentum is rounding. We do have a red dot as that VWAP does want to break down. Money flow is in the bearish territory trying to recover, but if that VWAP rejects, momentum will round away and money flow will break down, bringing price action lower and weakening those higher time frames. Momentum does want to round. Stochastic is dropping, so watch that stochastic. If it continues to drop, RSI is likely going to follow. Over on Bitcoin dominance, zooming out for our fixed range volume profile, we are trying to push forward. We have an indecision candle though, so we are trying to go like sideways right now. I would watch this indecision candle. If it starts to roll away after the next couple of candles, could give altcoins a run up against Bitcoin. RSI does want to push up. Stochastic is running forward. VWAP has higher highs. Momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is bullish. So we do look positive. We do have higher highs with higher lows. They don't really connect to make a rising channel that could bring us down. So that is positive and could help push us toward that value area high. I would just watch, because with indecision candles forming, we could start to lose some steam soon. And again, that would be good for our altcoins, because remember, as the dominance weakens, altcoins usually push up. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did break our channel. we are pushing down toward the bottom of our support. I would watch. We did get near that neckline, but we did not break. This could be positive. This isn't a long lower shadow candle, but it's pretty close, and it does show that the bears tried to drop us down pretty quick, and the bulls did step in to mitigate some of the damage. So you want to watch the lower time frames very close here. VWAP is pulling back, momentum is dropping, money flow is weakening, stochastic wants around, and our RSI is pulling back. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we got a very quick move down, then we pushed up. Hopefully right now our channel is working. It says that things kind of glitched out on us, so we'll have to see stream settings. So it does say we have poor connection right now, so hopefully you're able to see what's going on. Does look like, hold on, trying to read this error message for you. Looks like something's going on with my bit rate, so hopefully it's playing all right for you. Let me know. But overall, on the 4 hour, we do want to hit that resistance area. We need to break and hold that resistance if we're going to be prevented from pushing to the 52K again, and then pushing toward our 30K. Remember, if we break that 52K, we could be on our way to 30. Stochastic does want to run up. RSI is rounding. Our VWAP has higher lows with higher highs. Momentum's gaining strength, and the money flow is pushing up. So the 4 hour does look positive, but it's not very bullish right now. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic is rounding. RSI is starting to pull back. Our VWAP is rounding away. Momentum is rounding as well. And money flow is trying to gain strength, but is starting to struggle. So it seems that our stream is kind of being laggy. So let me just change the quality real quick. If it'll let me. Doesn't look like it'll let me right now, so I can't really do anything about that bitrate issue. But on the 2 hour, we are starting to reject that resistance. I would watch if we continue to reject and we break this EMA level, we're likely revisiting that 52K. VWAP does want to pull back, stochastic is rounding, RSI does want to drop, momentum is rounding, and the money flow is trying to gain strength. But on the 1 hour, we do have a bullish cross and we are struggling. If we can't continue with this bullish cross with that green getting above blue, then we could start to pull back. Remember, those EMA crosses are laggy, so that doesn't mean we have to push up. It just means we do have the potential to see bullish momentum. Stochastic is starting to round away that double line. Our RSI is starting to pull back as a result. Momentum is rounding away, and that VWAP, our yellow wave, does want to break that neutral, so watch very close. If that VWAP breaks through the neutral here, momentum will taper off and money flow will weaken. That will give us the momentum to push to that 52K. And if we hold bearish at that point, that would give us momentum to start pushing to our 30K. So you want to see that VWAP yellow wave make a bounce here, get a higher low, and then continue forward. If we don't see that, then we could see our double top play out. So over on Bitcoin, we do have a very similar break here. We did push around that 52K. We did push to our 300 EMA, and we did bounce. This is a long lower shadow candle, unlike futures. So providing both of them can run up together tomorrow, we may make a rounding bottom and try to break that resistance of our 57. Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is pulling back. VWAP is breaking down. Momentum is pushing down due to that yellow wave pushing down, so the blue wave is weakening. If that momentum continues to weaken, our red wave, our money flow, will continue to deepen, and we will see price action continue to sell off. Over on this 4 hour, we did get a very quick move down, so this could be a retracement in response to that quick move down. I would watch very close. If we cannot get above that 57 soon, then it's likely we will struggle. Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is flat. Our VWAP has higher highs with higher lows, so we do have a bullish trend there, but that bullish trend does seem a little weak in my opinion. Momentum does want to push up, and the money flow is trying to gain strength, so overall I would watch very close. Over on the 2 hour, very similar. We are trying to break through EMAs. We want to break and hold above the blue EMA and our 57K if we're going to get that bounce up. Stochastic does want to round. VWAP is pulling back. Money flow is weakening due to momentum rounding, so I would watch if that VWAP does break down. Momentum would remain bearish, but currently that VWAP is going to attempt to push momentum bullish, which would in turn push money flow bullish over several candles. And if we see that, then these lower time frames would start to give those higher time frames strength. We do have a bit of a consolidation after pushing up, so this could create a bull flag here on Bitcoin. So that would be a little counter to how futures is looking. A little mini bull flag could try to run us forward. Remember, you measure from the beginning of your run up to the top of your run up and apply that to your channel up. And that could give us a retest of 60K. We need to break and hold that 60K if we're going to continue forward. Stochastic does want to run up. RSI is trying to gain strength. Momentum is running forward. VWAP is pretty flat, and money flow does want to gain strength. But if that VWAP breaks down, momentum will round and money flow will remain bearish. That will weaken the higher time frames. So I would watch very close. Watch if we can break and hold that 57K before you get too excited for a bullish push up. So over on graph for the daily, we did continue down to our 16,316 like we warned about. But this is a long lower shadow candle just like on Bitcoin. So if followed by a strong green candle, we could continue to the upside. But it's also a potential for a hammer candle. So if it's followed by a red candle, we could see a continued drop and possibly break that 14,316 and push down toward our 11,057. Stochastic is dropping away with orange above blue. RSI is weakening. VWAP has lower highs with lower lows. Momentum is breaking down and money flow is weakening. So overall graph does not look too positive here. Over on the 4 hour, Stochastic is trying to run up. RSI wants to push up with it. It is trying to give our price action bullish strength. We are above the support and bouncing, so this could be positive if we can stay above that support level. Momentum does want to gain strength as that VWAP is in that bullish trend, that yellow wave, so that is pushing our blue wave further. Money flow, our red wave, is trying to gain a little bit of strength, so if that VWAP and momentum can continue to push forward, our money flow will do the same. Over on the 2 hour, we do have a bit of a round here as we hit that blue EMA and we got rejected, so I would exercise caution. That could bring us lower. If we do break this green EMA, then we could trend back to our 16,316, and again, this could be a retracement pump in response to that quick dump. Stochastic does want to round away. RSI is flat. VWAP wants to pull back. Momentum is starting to round due to that VWAP pulling back that yellow wave. So as that momentum pulls back, our money flow will deepen into the red, and we can continue to see price action weaken. That would in turn weaken those higher time frames and bring us lower. The 1 hour, we do have a similar EMA cross as we saw in Bitcoin, but again, we need to hold above that green EMA and continue forward if this cross is going to gain strength. Stochastic is starting to weaken. We do have that orange above blue. RSI is trying to drop as a result, bringing price action slightly down, so watch if Stochastic continues lower. That VWAP is breaking back into the bearish territory, technically making a lower low compared to right here. So if we get this lower low with lower highs, we could see momentum start to weaken, money flow would round, and that would weaken those higher time frames. So watch that VWAP very close over the next couple hours. But if we continue sideways here, we could make the same bull flag as Bitcoin on the lower time frames. That could try to push us back up. Over on Ankr for the daily, we got most of our move from our symmetrical triangle, so we are going to delete it at this point because it's pretty much played out, and the rest of the market does look like it does have a potential to bounce up on lower time frames, providing bullish momentum continues. So we do have a similar long lower shadow. That could be a hammer, so watch if it's followed by a green or red candle. Green, we make a rounded bottom. Red, we make a hammer candle. That would continue lower. Stochastic is pulling back. RSI is weakening. That VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory. Momentum is dropping as a result. And money flow is starting to weaken due to the VWAP favoring bearish and momentum breaking down. So I would watch very close. That doesn't look very positive. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a decent bounce off our 2338. Stochastic is pushing up but starting to round, so I would keep an eye on it. If it does round and breaks through that 30%, RSI will follow and bring price action lower. VWAP is bullish. We do have a higher high with higher lows, so that is a bullish trend pushing momentum forward, but that is kind of weak as we are flattening out, not gaining much momentum, so I would watch that VWAP very close on the lower time frames. Money flow does want to push up, but if those lower time frames make a reversal, we could see that 4 hour snap down. Over on the 2 hour, we do have a consolidation after getting a run up. So much like the rest of our coins, that could create a little mini bull flag to push us toward that 2673. Stochastic is flat, RSI is flat. RSI really can't go too much lower if that Stochastic does maintain, so that RSI could continue to bounce off our 30, providing that Stochastic does not start to make a dive. VWAP is pulling back. We are trying to hold above that neutral, so if we can hold above neutral, we could continue the bullish trend that would push momentum higher and money flow could gain some strength. However, if that VWAP does end up breaking that neutral, I would watch, as that would make momentum round away, money flow would pull back, and those higher time frames would weaken. Sorry about that. Over on the 1 hour, we did try to get an EMA cross, but unlike the other ones that did succeed, we are starting to reject, so I would watch. Stochastic does want to round away. We do have that orange above blue. RSI is starting to go flat, but if that stochastic continues to break down here, we could see price action follow and RSI would drop. Momentum does want to round with the red dot. That VWAP has lower highs and it wants to break that neutral, so I would watch. If you zoom in, we do have a lower low forming, so I would exercise caution. Money flow is starting to round away, so if that VWAP continues to favor bearish, momentum will break down, money flow will follow, and we will see those higher time frames weaken. Over on XRP for the daily, we did break our 42. We did push all the way down to that 38 range. We did mention that 38-35 range yesterday, so hopefully you had some orders in place. This is the similar long lower shadow. So again, if followed by a green candle, we could run up, making a rounded bottom, but if followed by a red candle, it could act as a hammer candle that would bring us down. Ideally, that would be a green candle here to help confirm we could push forward. The red candle is what gives us that breakdown possibility. RSI is starting to weaken, stochastic is dropping down with that orange above blue. VWAP is breaking down and momentum is weakening, causing money flow to sell off. So overall, I would exercise caution. We could revisit that 38-35 range. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is gaining strength. VWAP is trying to push up with higher highs. So this does look positive. Momentum is gaining strength and money flow does want to cross that neutral. If that VWAP can remain bullish on lower time frames, we may see a snap forward. Over on the 2 hour, we do have the similar consolidation after getting a run up, so that could create a bull flag to retest this resistance area around that 44-45 area. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is trying to run up, but it's starting to flatten, so I would just keep an eye on it. That VWAP, our yellow wave, does want to round away, causing momentum to pull back. So if that VWAP does break down here, money flow could reject this bullish cross, and we could see the bears gain further control. So watch the 1 hour close. Over on the 1 hour, VWAP, our yellow wave, does want to break through. We have a very weak low here, so I would watch. If we follow it with a decent high, a consistent high like back here, we could see momentum remain bullish. That would give money flow strength, and that would give that flag the possibility to run up. But if that VWAP rejects this neutral, we will see that rejection and that hammer candle bring us down. So that's kind of the scenario you're going to want to watch for. Finally, on ALGO for the daily, we did get our full breakdown that we've been warning about, so we will delete this as it's played out. This is a similar indecision candle as we are seeing across the market. So again, if followed by a green candle, we could push forward. Stochastic is dropping away, RSI is weakening, momentum does want to break down, VWAP is pushing down, and money flow is weakening. So overall, we don't look too positive here. Over on the 4 hour, we are struggling to break that 1350. Stochastic does look like it could round, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is rounding, momentum does want to round, and money flow is remaining bearish, so I would exercise caution. Over on our 2 hour, we are trying to hold our EMAs. If we can hold these and continue forward, we could get another test of that 1350 and possibly carve out a bull flag, but stochastic is pulling back, RSI is flat, VWAP is pulling back toward neutral, so watch if it breaks. If it does, we could see bears gain control, momentum does want to round, and money flow is selling off. Over on the 1 hour, we are starting to reject our lower EMA. If we continue below it, we could start to trend down here, making a slightly lower high, and we could see lower lows, so that could give us a further bearish continuation if we're not careful. Stochastic is pushing away, RSI is weakening, momentum does want to round as that VWAP is favoring bearish, causing money flow to remain bearish. So if that VWAP continues to favor bearish here, momentum will break down and money flow will start to pull back. That would result in the higher time frames weakening. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.